Okay, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a new episode of Secret Identity. I'm your host, Troy Clark Kent, is technically an illegal immigrant. Bond, co-hosted by Superman's pal, and not wearing any underwear on the inside or out, Brent Birnbaum.
I just like to be loose.
And speaking of loose, it's Lois Slater Harris. I still have to keep that part in.
I have 2 pairs of underwear on to make up for Brent's.
Yeah. And I'm not wearing
hot.
any, both inside or out. I kind of got into this costume commando, so I had to adjust the camera to shoot from the waist up.
Just say a lie. Say you're wearing ladies' underwear.
Well, I most certainly am not, Chris. You're in the mafia. Today we are talking about, because of all the Superman hype, Superman, the animated series, my first introduction to Superman, and I think a lot of people's, and also the second coming of DC animated shows right before Justice League. This was the next one. And even this one sort of sets up a bunch of different episodes, right? Like you have the Green Lantern episode where they possibly were setting up a Green Lantern show, World's Finest, best arc.
The when Brainiac is like asking Luthor to build the body and he like zaps him, and then later in Justice League when you find out that Brainiac has been dormant in Luthor.
But he remained undetected because he was taking prep. It was one of the
Brainiac just reminded me of Plankton's wife.
Kryptonite, 99% Krypton, 1% weed.
And it's all at the chum bucket.
What stands out about this show for you? When it comes to Superman?
I think this was the first time that I realized Superman could be cool. And I think what made him cool is that he wasn't trying to be cool. It was that he was just so unapologetically him. It's like Captain America in the MCU. What makes Captain America work is that he's not trying to be Iron Man. It's that he is a Boy Scout, and that's what makes him awesome. It's his commitment to his ideals.
Chris Evans even said that when he was playing Captain America, where one of his toughest challenges was getting into the character because he doesn't have the darkness of Batman or the quips of Spider-Man. He's just sort of a loser. And
right.
That is what once he kind of is, and once
Brent's like, I can relate.
Yeah, like that's what makes him that's coming from the Tony Stark. That's what makes him a perfect juxtaposition.
He's like, correct.
Was
Continue.
Captain America rejected by 2 women in the same night for prom?
Did he die a virgin?
He did not die a virgin.
We had confirmed that he slept with that woman on the.
Well, he slept with the co-ed or whatever her name was in the army. Like
right, yeah, when
the
he
one
was
from
on
Game
tour.
of Thrones,
Yeah.
But then he also went back in time and hooked up with what's her face,
Peggy.
Yeah,
oh, okay,
Peggy.
yeah, all right, that's true. Yeah.
I will come back to you.
I'm sure when he was on the run with Black Widow, they
really you think Black Widow and Cap could have been clapping cheeks?
Oh, dude, when you're that good looking,
yeah, either side of it.
Black Widow also famously racist. She wasn't hooking up with Sam.
Yeah, that's wow. That's what it could have been.
How long were you sitting on that, bro?
I know. You had it couldn't have been any other reason. Not chemistry, not same likes or interests. Racist. You're like that when Wayne Brady was on 30 Rock. You don't want to go out with me because I'm racist? No, it's because I think you're really boring. And Falcon's just like, no, it's because I'm racist. Now I'm going to become Captain America. Oh, you did.
I didn't know someone could
I was
switch.
saying Black Widow was racist, but it works the other way for Falcon to be racist.
Yeah, listen, we're talking about Superman. I think that's what we want to
You
do.
went from ass clapping to racism so quickly.
Oh yeah, we cover the gamut here.
That's usually how it works.
Well, we got all the points today, folks.
You got really into this show today. I showed you a bunch of episodes, and you were surprisingly really into it. You got hooked into it. What'd you like
because this came out in 95, right? Is that what you said?
97.
97?
97.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you were wrong.
Yeah, right.
I have the notes. So I was kind of thinking it was going to be outdated, kind of like flat. I don't know. But the animation we were discussing, like it's so enticing. I don't know. There's like not too much detail, but like the perspective's all there because it's like kind of like 2D. Like it's not like how animation is nowadays, like the new Mufasa movie and stuff, you know? Like they're trying to make it too real.
Is that even animation or is that just like kind of live action?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, but you know what I mean? How like anything that's like not legitimate, you know, shooting the camera and the subject's right there and it's just computerized somehow.
If it doesn't look like South Park characters, I'm not watching.
Yeah, like I want it drawn.
Yeah.
And
this
looked like
there's not
that.
an appeal for 2D animation too, because we saw that boring Lord of the Rings movie. And
wow, a boring Lord of the Rings thing.
That is
I
messed
wasn't
up.
surprised.
Can you believe
guys?
it?
No, I wasn't
Oh my
surprised.
God, I'm gonna murder you.
But
in
I
your
saw
sleep.
it, And
Here's the first movie.
it was beautiful, like just because it was 2D animation essentially, and there was like a little bit of 3D element. They have that. I don't know if you saw the trailer for the new Spider-Man cartoon.
I did. Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, you did?
Well, it's just like you have to. There's so many things about Marvel I don't trust right now. But X-97 was outstanding. And so, like, it's the same team behind X-97.
Is it?
I mean, I know it's not the same writer, but if it's like the same essential creative team, it gives me hope that it could be good.
I didn't love the animation on it just because maybe I'm so used to... the common consensus is DC didn't knock it out of the park with their live-action movies, but they always killed it with animation.
Right.
Because all of it sort of fell under that same umbrella style, right? We're starting with Batman the Animated Series, then Superman... then Batman Beyond, then Justice League. All of that was like the Bruce Timm, Paul Dini writing and art style. So like it all fit into the same universe. And then the Spider-Man trailer that just came out reminds me of that 2003 Spider-Man cartoon with Neil Patrick Harris that took place right after.
I kind of like
the
that one.
movies. I liked it too. It was a product of its time. My problem with it being, you come all this time from all this time later. Are we trying to be nostalgic with this Spider-Man trailer, or are we trying to make up for the fact that we can't capture the magic of 2D animation, unlike Creature Commandos, which is killing it, and it looks a lot like those old. It's very good, and it's like that Justice League and Superman and Batman we grew up with. I miss that 2D animation style. I think that's what makes it so charming.
Yeah, I feel like it's like too advanced, but also trying to be old school, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
You said it looked like a smartphone game.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a video game or something, but done like in a more pen to paper way. I don't know.
The ultimate Spider-Man game.
The foreground is like clear, and the background's kind of like forgotten about a little bit. It's like stagnant.
Well, they do that in the Spider-Verse movies too, where like
really? I was just gonna ask who did those, because
but those work. The Spider-Verse movies work because it was it wasn't like a rushed / we're using AI, though we're going to pretend we're not really using it in their production. And this one, I just sort of, I mean, not to shit on everything you said you liked about it, but comparing it to DC and like why this Superman show was so great. It's because it was so charming for what it was. You had it looked like those DVD or VHS movies that you would get in the 90s.
Yeah,
when Disney would
it's
do
more
those
like
sequels.
natural.
But X-97 looked like that in the finished product. And like, I think there are almost two routes you can go with animation. You can do what X-97 did, which is essentially another season of a beloved show. Or you could do like Batman Cape Crusader, when you bring back like Bruce Timm, you bring in Ed Brubaker, who's one of the greatest comic writers of our time. But instead of doing a new version of Batman the Animated Series, which I would have been on board for, they do something new. Was Cape Crusader good? Yes. Was it not as good as animated series? Absolutely not.
Well, that's like saying is the Hans Zimmer soundtrack to Tenet as good as the Hans Zimmer soundtrack to literally anything else? It's like impossible to compare anything.
But the original X-Men show from the 90s was outstanding, and
Incredible.
X-97 surpassed it, in my opinion.
That's why I kind of wish that they would do a Spider-Man 97. Like, that would be so much cooler than a new Spider-Man show. But that also could be me being nostalgic and like, I want something that I used to know.
Yeah, you're like refusing to move on.
Yeah, like I don't. There's a.
Bring back the Szechuan.
Yeah, they're good.
There's one in particular I want to talk about for that.
Before I go to mine, tell me yours. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
The one that I wanted to make sure that we brought up was Apocalypse Now. Which is the first time Darkseid like really comes to Earth, and that's when you meet Orion.
I have the one of the last time he comes.
Yeah, that Legacy's outstanding too.
Legacy, that's the one I had outlined too.
But yeah, what I love about Apocalypse Now is like it does a great job introducing Darkseid, who's been this overarching threat. You meet Orion for the first time.
Yeah.
You really kind of enter the fourth world like Steppenwolf. And this, more than almost anything until like Mr. Miracle by Tom King, was such a love letter to the king himself, Jack Kirby. Because there's a character, Dan Turpin, who was created by Jack Kirby, and in the show was designed to look just like Kirby.
And that's the one that Darkseid killed him.
Yes,
right?
exactly. He was the cop. And like, because in those episodes, Superman's kind of out of commission for a bit. So he's the one who's rallying like Metropolis to fight against Darkseid and his troops, and then like ends up freeing Superman, bides time until Orion comes in. And then as Darkseid's leaving, he's like, Kal-El, like, or Superman, all victories come with a cost. And he kills Turpin. And then like Superman's so livid, and it cuts to Turpin's funeral. And it's like, they're saying the mourner's Kaddish, which is the traditional Jewish prayer when someone passes, like, and they have a rabbi there, and you see like all the Superman cast there, like Superman, Lois Lane, Lex Luthor, Jimmy Olsen, but then you also see in the back, you see Stan Lee.
Oh.
Like, so someone actually, they drew Stan Lee, and they have Superman at the grave for Turpin, and he said what the world didn't need was a Superman, just a brave one. And then the final card says, this episode is dedicated to Jack Kirby. Rest in peace, King. Because Kirby had died around like 94, so this was only a few years later.
That's awesome.
Man, I never knew that.
Wow, me neither. My head exploded a little.
It was like because I always knew that it was an homage to Kirby, because I remember watching that and being like, oh, that's beautiful, because I knew about Jack Kirby. I never picked up on the Stan Lee Easter egg.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how'd you figure that out?
I was just like watching. I was just like pausing. I was like, holy shit, that's
your 100th time watching
my 100th time watching it. Anyway, excuse me, I think that's Stan Lee in the background. And then I went on Reddit. I was like, is that Stan Lee in the background?
And they were like, yes, it is.
And then they confirmed it.
What episode did you catch it on? I was at number 4. You're like, 100? Get out. Subreddit about Brent. He sucks.
Yeah, that you started.
Yeah.
This is you and Fred Skull on it.
They're like, wait, did it already exist?
You're the man, Fred.
One of the first ones I showed Slater was World's Finest,
Oh.
the beloved crossover story featuring the two most iconic superheroes of all time, Batman and Superman. It was
I couldn't get a joke in time. I was gonna say something stupid.
What? Okay, I'll recut it.
I was gonna say like Martian Manhunter and Big Barda.
Two of the favorites of all time, right next to Kate Bishop and
Caitlyn Jenner.
And 2 episodes, Caitlin, 2 shout-outs. You would be the Lex Luthor of our time. Right next to Elon and Elizabeth Holmes.
Shout out to the people. My 2 favorite answers for our clip for Lex, we should play Lex Luthor. What I told you about was Johnny Sins.
Yeah.
The other was Will Smith's wife.
Oh my gosh.
Jada.
Keep Luthor's name out your fucking mouth. Oh my god.
G.I.J.
Yeah, her weakness is jokes at the Emmys. This was their first meeting. I think we ever got in animation. We probably got into the comics before this point.
Oh yeah, no, in the comics for sure.
They'd met a bunch. I mean,
that's why it's called
Justice
World's
League-
Finest, because whenever Batman and Superman would meet in the comics,
That's
it was
what
World's
it'd be
Finest.
called.
Yeah,
and I guess not the first time in animation, because you had the Justice League Justice Friends. The cartoon
yeah, like
in
the Super
70s.
Friends,
But
yeah,
like
yeah,
this
yeah.
is like the first coolest meetup between the two, Batman and Superman. And it's when the Joker arrives in Metropolis with a deadly kryptonite statue covered in avian flu, proposes an alliance with Lex Luthor to kill Superman in exchange for $1 billion. Batman follows Joker into the city, crossing paths with Superman for the first time. Their initial meeting is intense. Batman shoulder throws him.
Yeah.
Right when he tries to touch him.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I knew you were crazy. I didn't think you were stupid. And then he looked in his face, and then Batman's like, wow, that was kind of a bitch ass move.
Yeah,
You peaked.
You peaked, you
He goes,
little
Bruce
slut.
Wayne.
He goes, you peaked in high school. I talked to Lana Lang.
She said I could still keep my Wayne Enterprises business as long as you and Luthor get the hell out.
Is that why you slap around Tim Drake?
Oh, come on. That was nothing, Bruce, you know? Yeah, Luthor didn't mean nothing by that. He was banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time.
Or in Tim Drake's case, cocktail waiters.
Was that
Your
about cock?
fave.
Yo, my senses are tingling.
The best part of that episode is when Batman's so mad at Superman for looking under his mask that he not only finds out who Superman is, he takes his girl out for breakfast and puts a tracker on him and waits across town with binoculars, waiting for Superman to see him, just to go, ha ha,
Yo,
can't get
yeah,
me, bitch.
he went all the way across the rooftops and is just staring with
I know.
binoculars. Like, that was such a good peeping Tom moment.
They kind of have good. They kind of have pretty good chemistry though. Bruce and Lois.
Well, it
Yeah.
reminded me, you know, and the rumor is the Snyder movies were going to have Bruce and Lois have a baby together.
Really?
And that was going to be like while Superman was dead, she was going to be pregnant during the events of the first Snyder Cut movie, and then 2 and 3 would have been the fallout from that, and that plays into like him being in nightmare sequence. I'm pretty sure that I remember that, but I agree. Like this shows that they had a real complexity to their relationship here, and then also she finds out he's Batman at the end.
And I think that also could be the chemistry between Kevin Conroy and Dana Delaney, who played the Phantasm in Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh, it was the same actress.
They liked her so much that they brought her back for Superman the Animated Series. And oh my God, I mean, we talked about cartoon crushes on Viewer Mail Part 1. Oh boy, did I have a crush on Lois Lane.
Same.
Oh my
I was
God.
just saying that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was in love with
Lois.
Lois Lane.
Yep.
Not as much as I was in love with Jimmy Olsen, though. Yo, my mom, she's like a saint.
This is the first ever full crossover between Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series, solidifying the foundation. This was the beginning of the DC Animated Universe.
Well, because Batman the Animated Series was off the air, and then they brought it back as the new Batman Adventures, and the animation style looked like the Superman the Animated Series.
I wasn't a big fan of. I liked the new Batman Adventures. It
wasn't the same, though.
It wasn't the same, but I liked the Tim Drake Robin. But almost all the character designs were better except the Joker. His was very kind of a downgrade. I hated it. It looked like something out of a. It was the same animation style in this one, in the World's Finest episode. He didn't have the lipstick. He didn't have the eyeliner.
Yeah.
It was just the white eyes and the pupils. I didn't love it as much. But
Yeah, I didn't really
was
like it.
Tara
either,
Strong voicing Harley at this point? Did she ever voice
No,
Harley Quinn?
she did eventually in the, I think in Arkham, she took over in Arkham City, but Arlene Sorkin was still Harley, who was like, she's like that's like a goated performance too, like Arlene Sorkin as Harley.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
How long did she do it for?
She created the role and probably did it up until her death. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, so maybe like 30 years.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Good for her.
For Harley? Mm-hmm. Wow. This is also I was telling Slater earlier where I was showing her the episode. I don't know what I did to luck out to have Mark Hamill play my favorite good guy and my favorite bad guy.
I know, right?
And also you have Luke Skywalker and Mr. Krabs in the same episode together.
It's amazing.
Clancy Brown, just one of the best. All right, Joker, you're after all me money.
Who was the housing manager in my fraternity years before I was.
Who was?
Clancy Brown.
Oh,
What?
And Sigma Chi at Northwestern, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Brent
You have
just-
such
hold on,
interesting
you picked
school
up that name you
stories.
dropped.
Oh, sorry. What's it doing behind your ear? I'll be here all week.
Now it's up my ass.
Yo, what was that?
My favorite quotes from this episode: Batman and Superman. Last time I checked, I don't work for you. And Superman goes, "Shut up."
Shut up, bitch.
That was crazy.
Does he say shut up?
No. I did.
I kind of would. I could see that. Weirdly.
Shut up.
Shut up.
I'm done with you.
My favorite scene in that whole thing is when Batman helps Superman save Lois, and he goes, without you, I really wouldn't be able to save Lois. And he goes, I'm already aware of that. Just grapples off and walks away. And he's like, for someone who works alone, you're not that bad at teamwork. It's just so good. There were so many.
Oh, it's an incredible sequence. Do you know what my favorite scene in that is?
Which one?
It's when after Superman already knows that Bruce is Batman, and Bruce is at the planet asking Lois out. And, it really shows you the range Kevin Conroy had because he's using the higher...
Yes, hi, Lois. I'd like to take you out later.
Exactly. And then when she steps away...
I hope you don't mind. I use an Erpment facial mask before I put on my black eyeliner.
Trying to get us a reservation.
At Gotham Store.
Got tickets for Hip to Be Square.
Try getting reservations at the Daily Planet now, you fucking stupid bastard.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
But when Lois steps away, then Superman turns to Bruce. He goes, "Any luck finding the clown?" And then Bruce switches from the high-pitched voice to the voice he uses as Batman and says, countless nights.
I'll let you know after.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it shows you that's his true voice. That's the voice he uses with Alfred, even when the mask is off.
Yeah, because there was that episode of the animated series where somebody was getting in his own head and they were starting to mess with his own memories, and he was able to break out of it because his subconscious was calling him Bruce. And Terry was like, "How did you know?" And he goes, "Because that's not what I call myself."
Ooh.
And I was like, "Yeah,
Nice.
it's you could play into the Bruce is the
I
mask."
call myself Daddy.
I call myself Big Dick Batarang.
Hey, Daddy. Hey, you're great, Daddy. You're great. Hey, you there.
You don't have a mole right next to your eye. And Talia had a perfect dead scene.
You just need to imagine the fire.
Did you watch the episode in Brightest Day?
I didn't know.
One of the best, introduces one of the most beloved characters in the DC universe, Green Lantern. Again, it serves as like
Kyle Rayner Green Lantern,
Kyle
right?
Rayner Green Lantern. Superman is investigating a mysterious ship crash. An alien is inside that crashed is Abin Sur, the Green Lantern, who was mortally wounded protecting the universe. With his last breath, he entrusts his power ring to find a worthy successor. The ring chooses Kyle Rayner, a humble artist working at the Daily Planet. And at first you go, well, why wouldn't the ring go to Superman? And then later in the episode, they go to the Lantern takes Superman to Oa, and they go, "Oh, it's the Kryptonian." So like, maybe because he's the ring's supposed to go to the best who deserves it, but like the Kryptonian, they know he's the last Kryptonian, and he has all the power already. So there's just probably something in the filing cabinet that goes, "Don't give it to the Kryptonian."
They just gave Hal Jordan's origin story to Kyle Rayner.
Yeah. That's all they did
because it was the '90s, and so like because Hal Jordan had gone crazy, and so like they were like, all right, I guess we can't have Hal Jordan be Green Lantern in this.
What happened with Hal Jordan?
So Hal Jordan in like a typical '90s thing, some writer just sniffed a bunch of just ripped like 5 lines. He goes, "Why don't we make Hal Jordan evil?" Okay, like basically during the Death of Superman arc from the '90s, Mongol ends up blowing up Coast City, which is Hal Jordan's hometown.
Right.
And the Guardians of Oa won't let him resurrect them. And he goes crazy. And he's like, you're all corrupt. He goes, you're all out of touch. So he murders all the Green Lantern Corps. He murders Kilowog. I think everyone dies except for Jon Stewart. And like his ring, he becomes a villain. And then does
he go yellow?
He doesn't go yellow. He just takes all the rings for himself, and then
It's
one
like
of the remaining rings.
sophisticated Gollum.
It's true, yeah.
I want them all.
Can we get a little Gollum?
My precious. I can't do it. My precious. Nope, that's a witch.
I've heard that girl stuck in my VCR before.
No, I can't do it. I'm really trying.
You precious, Brian? You read about your precious?
You like the ring?
You didn't have second breakfast, Brian? No. You know where to find it. I didn't think so. No, it's up in the way, not up when I'm gay, Brian. No, if I could just find a guy.
You're like, what was that about being gay?
That's Travolta again. I had to creep up his butt earlier. It was filled with grease, Brian.
I gotta listen to him, and then I'm gonna come back and do it
You
good.
listen to him, but you have to spend a few days in his skin, Brian.
Yeah, I'm gonna just be locked in my room, dark, hunched over.
Before and after they put Kyle Rayner's girlfriend in the fridge.
I know, seriously. I think this is probably around the same time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Ooh,
But yeah, Kyle Rayner got the ring in the comics, and then eventually they're like, oh, Hal Jordan wasn't crazy. Parallax was actually a little parasite in his head. It was stupid. And then also DC realized, you know what? Jon Stewart, better character than Kyle Rayner.
And they're still going with Jon Stewart, which is why I loved it. But like I've been on a little bit of a Green Lantern kick lately, and that's what made me love it. The next episode that I loved, we were just talking about Legacy, because we read Mr. Miracle and we fear Granny Goodness, and we know the dark side is aspect
She's terrifying
of it.
in
terrifying.
Every version of everything.
Granny? Yeah.
It's like they got Ed Asner to voice her.
Yeah. Oh, is that Ed Asner, the guy from Up?
I was wondering who was. I didn't know if it was a man or a woman, and then I figured it was a man. After
This is an old Jewish man.
Yeah,
He has
so
perfect
amazing.
grandma voice.
He does.
He did Up.
Yeah, he was the guy from Up.
The old man.
The old man, yeah.
No, the little kid.
He's been
Manny
playing.
from Modern Family.
He's been playing old men his
He
whole
was Doug
life.
the dog.
And this was the Darkseid episode, Legacy. It's widely regarded as the most intense and impactful episodes of the series, going over, themes, trust, identity, redemption. Before I go into that way, I gotta ask you a question about Kara. What's her deal?
Kara?
Yeah, like in the continuity of this story, like, did she get sent to Earth the same time Clark left Krypton?
I think I need to rewatch those episodes, but the finale of season 2, I think he's in space and he sees Kara, and so like I think she probably got sent around the same time. I don't really know the age
difference. She got sent,
yeah.
and then there was something that took her on another trajectory.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I think that's what happened.
She got derailed.
Yeah.
Women be shopping.
Yeah. She's like, hang on, pull over. I gotta get something.
Is she actually his cousin or like?
I'm pretty sure that's
Okay.
the continuity.
Yeah.
If not, then he was helping her out of the dryer way too many times. But in Legacy, this episode opens with Superman being brainwashed by Darkseid, who used the alt-right pipeline and a bunch of Andrew Tate videos to manipulate the Man of Steel into a servant of Apocalypse. Under Darkseid's command, Darkseid.
Yes.
Superman.
I'll show him my dark seed. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That should be a villain. Darkseid.
Dark
He just
seed.
jizzes all over you.
Yes.
I'm blind.
No, you won't stop me again this time, Darkseid.
I've got my dark seed
My
gun
mouth
right
is
here.
closed.
Yeah, no,
He's
it's
always
never-
coming, never going.
What was that? It's never coming.
You're a national treasure, Darkseid.
We love you. We'll follow the trail.
After they broke free from Darkseid's control, Superman's horrified by the destruction he caused and lost the trust of the people of Earth after a few of his old tweets came out. And he wanted to atone, so he battled Darkseid in a brutal... I'm waiting for people to comment. I didn't say that, correct me. So they could suck out some of my Darkseid.
Yes. You know, when you go down, it's actually a very enjoyable experience. Come on, Mendelsohn. Come on. You want to come out? Do it. Help me. Help me.
Just close your eyes.
Desperate cage.
Yes. Where's my buddy?
You just buy him a set of knee pads for Christmas. You know what this is
Bro, the
for.
other says one. The one says face, the other says off.
Yo, I was in that movie.
Face off, ass down.
What I liked about...
That's the name of my biography.
That's the real Grease. What I loved about the episode is Darkseid is like my favorite Superman villain. There's just something about him being Superman's ultimate nemesis. Like, what would you say that like you look at him and you go, oh, Superman's about to get his nitties knocked?
Yeah, I mean, I think of Lex Luthor obviously as his arch nemesis, but like Darkseid is like the ultimate evil.
Yeah,
Like,
because I mean, Darkseid can land a punch.
like, yeah, if you were to ask me who the greatest villain in all of DC is, I would say Darkseid. And if you say that Superman is the greatest hero in all of DC, which he probably is,
Yeah.
it makes sense that they're on a collision course together.
Yeah.
What else was Darkseid like the front man in?
Mr. Miracle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in Mr. Miracle. That's what you've seen so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else though? I feel like he has a lot to offer and he's not really covered.
He was in the Snyder Cut Justice League,
Oh,
so they
okay.
were trying to
Okay.
make him be the ultimate villain.
I'm just an advocate. For
Well, yeah, honestly, the issue
too.
the issue with
Villains.
Darkseid is, and this is just a lesson on getting there first, is Thanos, and we mentioned before on this podcast, is a flat-out ripoff of Darkseid.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Darkseid almost feels like a Marvel villain because he was created by Kirby, but like when Jim Starlin was creating Thanos, he literally just ripped off Darkseid, but because Thanos is a great villain in its own right, and Thanos has been adapted perfectly, Darkseid will now just look like a ripoff of Thanos if they adapt him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also to your point, Thanos was deserved when we got him when we did
Right.
in Infinity War. Like that was a 10-year build, right? To get to that point. The issue, and we've both said we like the Snyder Cut. We both really enjoy the Snyder Cut. The issue with it is almost everything that happened in the DCAU after that, or EU, whichever one it was kind of pointless because you go up against Darkseid first. What's the threat of a Flash Rogue or anything gonna be? You know, like Darkseid is the ultimate baddie. He's the last villain in the Justice League show. He's the last villain Clark has to go up
The
against.
anti-life equation.
At the anti-life equation, like there's
Say
nothing.
ultimate baddie.
He's the ultimate
Yeah,
baddie.
he can get it.
And
Yeah,
they didn't
baddie daddy.
execute it correctly when they. You want to say who killed the DC universe?
Jesse James.
I was thinking Jesse Eisenberg for a second. I was like, he wasn't that bad. Making him a tech bro was actually a good idea. Yeah, yeah. That was my 2 cents.
Yeah, actually, Video killed the DC universe. That would have been funnier in the
Video
moment.
killed the
Oh,
DC universe.
Video kill.
Then after there was one more. Oh, Identity Crisis. Bizarro.
That's a
Bizarro
beautiful
is
episode.
the best. He's my number 2 Superman villain, I would say, of all time. And then
And you also feel for him.
I feel so bad for
you
him.
can't help
Imagine
not.
if you were fucking cloned and then you had all those memories. You would honestly think you were, and then you look like a troll.
and to
That's
see him
just me.
deteriorate in real
Yeah.
time and
Yeah.
still think he's Superman.
Watch him
Yeah.
spit game to Lois and then like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
He's
in Identity Crisis,
Me say for Lois.
it's a standout episode that explores themes of, it's got individuality and identity and what it means to be Superman. It introduces one of his most intriguing. You don't have to agree and say he's one of the greatest, but he's one of the most intriguing Superman adversaries, Bizarro, who's a flawed clone man of Steel. Steel pronounced Steal. He didn't get the right thing
He
down.
can't spell. He can't talk.
The
He's pretty
episode
dumb.
begins with Superman investigating reports of someone impersonating him across Metropolis. They stole Social Security card. They're making a bunch of fraudulent charges at Walmarts across the country. And a genetically unstoppable clone created by Lex Luthor is actually the one who's been doing these things. Bizarro Bizarro, as he was called by Eve Taskmaster when she was like, "You look,
Mercy?
Superman, call me Bizarro."
Mercy
yeah.
could also get it.
Yeah, I mean, she get
Mercy.
She got legs for days.
Yeah,
Lord
she
have
does,
mercy.
and she's like his security guard slash driver slash. It's coming out of your pants.
Oh, that was the same chick? I just thought he had a like fleet of women that
Nah,
looked like
that's the
that.
That's the same.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
damn,
yeah.
this dude is getting it.
Yeah, no, Lex knows how to
So
lose
she's
her.
the one that got freaking knocked in the face by
By
Harley.
Harley Quinn
Yeah.
with the squirty cloud
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And then she's there to always be his Peggy.
To peg him.
To peg him. Well, like, even despite, like, Bizarro, like, his flawed nature, he still has this childlike innocence and wonderment about him that you want to see him win. And it's also funny to just be like, he's an idiot.
Right.
Dude.
There's nothing malicious about Bizarro.
No. If anything, he's trying to prove he's Superman.
Yeah, but it's so funny because he's so dumb. So he's like trying to fix situations that are not needing to be fixed.
It's like Chuck McGill about Jimmy McGill. He's like, he goes, slipping Jimmy with a law degree. It's like, it's a chimpanzee with a machine gun. That's Bizarro.
Yeah.
Well, even there is a redeeming quality about Bizarro, and Lois sort of points it out at the end because in order to save
Bizarro, what a joke!
what a joke! Yeah, wait, Clark. Even like one of at the end, he had to save Lois, and he sacrificed himself by doing it. And Superman goes, "Well, he still had to have a good heart." For him to do that, and Lois said, "Well, he comes from great stock because he was still a clone of Superman."
That
So
smile at the end when
Yeah.
she says, "You are a hero."
Yeah, that was so
that's all he wanted to
cute.
hear.
Did you notice though, like he was holding up that like ceiling part that fell or whatever, and like they weren't even underneath it. Like he was just holding his own piece.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't notice
It's
that.
like you're not up. They're like,
That's
okay, we're gonna let you believe in that. He was like, hold door, hold door.
Hodor.
Me am
poor
you,
guy.
but me no good like you.
That is a great episode.
It really is. I really felt for him.
Me save people like real Superman.
Oh no.
He's like, bridge fall apart. Me fix. It's like the ship's trying to go through.
Oh yeah, when he laser beamed the ship to get up
Yeah.
the
The
drawbridge.
bridge. drawbridge.
Yeah, he's like,
Me
bridge
fix-
broken.
Me fixed with Simon Garfunkel song. Life just can't be found like bridge over troubled water.
Oh, poor guy.
Are there any standout episodes for you that you wanted to
Oh yeah, what
talk
was your
about?
one?
I mean, those are the ones that I have.
Those are
written down.
great. I particularly love Legacy. Like, and also I love
Legacy,
how
I love.
Legacy sets up Justice League.
Yes.
Because you see how Hamilton gets scarred by what Superman did, and
Yeah.
then he starts Cadmus with Amanda Waller.
Oh my God! I didn't even pick. Yeah, when he
Yeah.
picked up Superman
Yeah.
at the end, and then he puts him down, and he goes, he's never gonna see me the same ever again. Oh, I never picked up on that.
And when he's fixing Kara, then he uses that blood to create Galatea, who becomes one of the main villains in Justice League Unlimited.
oh man, well, I know I did it 3 months ago, but it might be time to watch Justice League all over again.
Amazing. Bruce
time
Bruce
for
Timm is always paying attention.
Always paying attention. Well, if that covers it for animated series, I do.
Oh,
want
one other episode I want to shout out, just because.
Oh, I had one more too.
Oh yeah, but just because we are comedians here.
2
and-
hours later.
2 hours.
I have another one. We do the whole fucking series.
Nice SpongeBob reference.
Yeah.
Because we are comedians, we have to shout out when one of the greatest comedians of all time is on Superman, which is Gilbert Gottfried as Mr. Mxyzptlk. Oh my God, what a great
what's that episode?
Perfect casting.
Yeah, what happens in that one?
That's just Mxyzptlk. He's bored. He wants to mess with Superman because he's sick of messing with humans because, like, all the stories of imps and leprechauns and genies, those are always just Mr. Mxyzptlk, who's a fifth dimensional being who is voiced by Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh yeah!
Man, he just starts by walking around.
Up and away!
McGurk, where's McGurk?
Where did McGurk go?
And
He
like-
killed my parents.
It turns out McGurk is like Rodin's thinker, who like gets up and starts walking. There you are, McGurk. We got places to go.
I always just think of Aladdin.
My daughter was murdered by a live wire.
Jafar,
Live wire. Do you want to fuck a parrot?
come get your treasure.
It's just fun watching him voice this character who he's so perfect as. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. He died, right?
I don't know if he did. Superman makes him disappear.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, Gilbert Gottfried died.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a rare blood disease.
Yeah. Wow, man.
That sucks.
There's 4 comedic gods, like, all died together. Like him, Bob Saget, Louis Anderson, and one other who I'm...
James Caan? Was that
He was an actor.
James Cotton.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
actor? Ronald Reagan, the actor?
Yeah.
No,
Well, I
Norm,
was just thinking
Norm.
of great people.
Norm.
Yeah.
Right.
Comedians.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a fucked
You know,
up
Norm,
year.
like, people say he told us years ago, he told us he was going to die in a joke where somebody was like, he was doing a Hitler joke as he always does. And he goes, what, Hitler died? And he goes, yeah. He's like, well, I didn't even know he was sick. That's what everybody said when Norm died. When they found out he died of cancer, everybody was like, I didn't even know he was sick.
Oh my gosh, what a full circle
Oh,
moment.
man.
Well, if that covers animated series, I do, before we get out of here, want to talk about the trailer.
Oh, yeah. And also in quick nerd news, they officially confirmed it that Jason Momoa is Lobo.
Really? Oh, they confirmed it.
Shout out my buddy Joe, who texted me right before this podcast.
Oh my god.
So I also think that they just delayed the Batman 2 because they're going to integrate Pattinson and Superman.
You think?
together. I think they're going to do DC.
I
You don't think
hope
they're going to do
so.
Batman Brave and the Bold?
I don't think so. I think they're going to do Pattinson with Cornsweet.
I'm down for that.
I think Gunn waited to see what fan response would be to that. I think most people kind of want that. I think we, as an American society, have had too many elections of the Batman. Pattinson is just fine. Men love him. Women love him. I want to be inside of him. Keep Pattinson on as Batman
And
as
most
long as you bring it
importantly,
out.
I want Pattinson inside of me.
I want Pattinson inside of me, and I want Mr.
100%.
Freeze inside of that movie. That'd be a great way to.
That would be amazing.
It would
Oh
be
my
amazing.
god, it would be incredible.
They what killed the dinosaurs?
Maya, please, if I was cast in the Pattinson
Jackie,
movie,
please.
would you take me back?
Listen to him, Jackie. I mean, Maria. Same rules apply.
Yes. Arnold. Yes.
Yes.
I've come back to life so you can bone me.
Well, did you? What, any last thoughts on the Superman animated series before I go into the trailer?
No, I'm pumped for the trailer. That's
trailer
good.
was beautiful.
Yeah.
Trailer was amazing. I take back everything I said about Nicholas Hoult. He looks incredible as Luthor.
Yeah, he looks like he hates a guy just for being Superman.
Yeah.
Which I really like.
He's good. He's such a little slithery snake. I like. He always does weird roles, man.
He does,
Like, and
yeah.
he dives in. He becomes those
He
characters.
was Tesla.
Yeah.
He was.
He
He
was
was
in that.
Tesla, Nicholas Hoult?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was in that Nikola Tesla, right?
Yeah,
Bowie played him
Yeah.
in
Huh?
The Prestige.
Kobe.
Bowie.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. He was in that weird vampire movie with Nick Cage.
Oh, yeah.
He was in Cold Bodies a while
Yes, where
ago.
he played Dracula.
Yeah. He's been
Now
in
he's
a lot of shit.
Nosferatu.
Now is he Nosferatu? He's definitely in it.
He's in it, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the husband of the girl who's like getting haunted by.
Is Bill Skarsgård Nosferatu?
Huh?
Is Bill Skarsgård Nosferatu?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we're
Yep.
Batman.
Yeah. And then
it's
I don't
funny?
know what Willem Dafoe's role in it is, but you could throw him in
I'll tell you
anything
what
and
his
he'll
role
make
is.
his own role.
He's gay. He has a special connection to Nosferatu. There are many interesting things about it.
He sucks blood.
He'll be back in the sequel, Nosferatu.
I love every time you just explain Mace Hughes. You do it as Willem Dafoe.
He has a wife, a child. He plotted a plot in the military. There are many interesting things about Hughes. You know, he's something of an alchemist himself.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Old metal alchemist. Yeah, that's all I really had to cover for Soups.
Yeah, no, I mean the trailer looks. I mean, the movie's gonna be great because
gonna be great.
because Gunn's batting 1,000. Like,
Yeah, no, it was like the just the cinematography of it and everything was like captured.
It's
like just,
colored.
Yes, it's
There's
bright.
color.
We
Superman's
can
fighting
see.
a kaiju.
We can
He's
see
saving a little
things.
kid. I was
Dude.
crying. Clark Kent and Superman actually looked like different people for once, which I thought was impossible to do, and they pulled it off perfectly.
Yeah.
And also, to quote Jim Brown, man, it looks straight out of a comic book.
It does.
and
And
the
the dog,
Enter
the
the
dog's in
Dragon.
it. What's his name again?
Crypto!
Crypto, yeah.
yeah, dude, Crypto's in it. I never thought I'd be excited to see Guy Gardner in a movie.
Dude, just
Yeah.
with his hair and everything. Yeah, I love it. It looks great.
looks
and I'm
really
glad that we're
good.
seeing another Green Lantern before we get Hal Jordan.
Yes. And because I think that Green Lantern show is going to be amazing with Jon
Yes.
Stewart and Hal Jordan.
Yes.
And then Guy Gardner's even going to be a part of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
think
that.
they're on like the rise. Something
They said everything was
something good
riding
is
on
going
Superman,
down.
and I think it's a perfect gamble for the show to be because I mean, first of all, I'm glad that they're kind of going ahead and doing Superman because at first everybody was like, well, sort of follow the path that Marvel and DC did, right? Focus on the lesser known heroes like Iron Man, Cap, Winter Soldier, build up the B's and C's so the A's like Spider-Man or even the X-Men, when they come to the forefront, they'll really be there. You kind of need Superman to be the heart of the DC. There's nothing and Marvel is very weary
It's
of
just out of
having.
respect. I feel
Marvel
like.
also didn't have Spider-Man and like the X-Men and the
Right.
Fantastic Four. They had to use these B-list characters.
Yeah.
DC has them.
DC has them. DC is not playing with the house's money. It's really just fighting with Warner Brothers, and it's fighting with what's the Discovery and like all these big mergers that they're dealing with. Where if this movie does everything that it's supposed to do, then superhero movies as a whole, it's great when Marvel does well. It's great when DC does well. It's great for each other when they both do really well. I hope that
Same for even Image and Dark Horse.
Image and Dark Horse are doing incredibly well. When when people are going out and they're supporting that thing, I'm hoping that Fantastic Four is great, and I hope that Superman is great because they both come out around the same time.
I was just gonna say, when's their release? Is
like
it
a week apart from
crossover?
each other, if not the same day.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see Pedro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! And I mean, a live-action Galactus, which is something I've wanted for an actual live-action Galactus, not a fucking cloud. Like,
Yeah, that wasn't Galactus. That was a spit in my mother's mouth. And a
kissing
baseball
your
cap to
sister.
Jack kneecaps.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Fucking your brother. All
Yeah,
the
no, I
things.
think
pow, right in the kiss.
right in the kisser. I mean, I'm okay. That's definitely why they delayed Batman, because they're gonna bring in Corn Sweet Superman to go along with him. And they're gonna have to retool some things and figure out, because you can have.
How did we bring Victor back?
They're saying that's not
What?
out
They're
of the
bringing
question.
Victor back?
Not out of the question.
What?
How?
Not out of the question.
What?
I heard it's not out of the question.
Batman, I'm one more time.
Gonna stop you. I'm actually Zaz.
I got all these cuts climbing out of the river.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Not really.
I feel like I don't have enough time.
my Sharona.
Happy Hanukkah. What is it? Night 7?
It's I don't know. Yeah.
Night
I got my gifts.
Well, by
Oh.
the time it's out, it's been the New Year, and Hanukkah's been
And
over.
Holocaust.
But we were like, nobody was saying anything close
You
to
said holla hana. You said holla hana.
All right.
Although, Challah, there's a famous thing in
Challah.
Judaism that's not Holocaust. Challah is just a bread that we eat.
Oh, I love that holla. Oh yeah, a silent C.
Yeah.
Right? I always said
Holla at your
challah.
boy.
I'll let your boy. Well, True Believers, we want to thank you for 35,000 subscribers on this show. Thank you for riding into another year with us. Happy New Year from the three of us going commando on this pod. We hope this time next year you'll be with us, going up and away. And 6 months from now, we'll be talking about how I should have been in the Superman movie because I auditioned for it. But next time I can audition and play like Robin's stunt double or something. But any last words?
Thank God we're waist up because we are truly naked.
Woo!